Christian's based his look on travellers who have travelled around Morocco, so it's all that rich sandy tones. So we've used russet colours on the eyes. We're using a cream eyeshadow and then a powder eyeshadow just to give it more depth, and then white inside the eye and just extending it slightly out a little bit, and contouring the cheeks, a little bit of highlighter on the cheekbones, and then a very pale lip. So it's quite a simple look, but it looks pretty on most of the girls.
It was all about having really super clean, fresh hair, but we wanted to add some texture to it as well. So we used Texture Maker. So how I use the Texture Maker is spraying it into my hands, putting it in, and then rubbing it through the hair, and then just giving this really cool texture, and then coming in and doing a really soft, beautiful fringe on all the models. So being that the models all didn't have fringes, we had to add fringes. So all the models that you see will have a faux fringe.
We're kind of on our journey through Morocco. It's almost like she's at JFK and she's getting dressed and she wants to look chic and cool, and then basically as she goes on, the cities become her muse. So she becomes inspired by it, and then the culture inspires her, textures. We looked at Moroccan wedding blankets, we looked at architecture. The details are so important because I didn't want it to feel like it had to be so literal Morocco, but it is about different parts of the culture and from different cities. You know, Fez, Marrakesh, Casablanca, they're all very different. So we took elements from each place. Still working with Payless, which I love, but what's great is we're launching these shoes as our first real collection, which is going to be exciting, and they'll be in retailers soon, and I can't wait, and our bags, so which is kind of our first adventure into a little bit of higher end price point for shoes and bags, so I'm excited.
Siriano is such an interesting study in the new sort of breed of fashion, obviously coming from reality TV, which of course by now is a little bit of an old story. But if you really look at the trajectory and the history of people in reality TV and fashion, how many people really stay? And he has stood the test of time. He's done incredible collaborations. He's kept his brand alive by being on television. He's been able to collaborate with Payless shoes and different brands, from cars to moderate lines, and then have his own couture line. So he's really representative of the new breed of fashion designers and what you need to do to stay relevant and alive in today's market.
Christian is my dear friend. I've gone to his shows for the past 5 years. I love that they're incredibly whimsical, but they don't become saccharine at all. They're not childish or girlish, but they have that sort of otherworldly thing about them. And also they can be incredibly sexy and dark and mysterious. Mostly I've seen that it's like lots of white and cream and blush, which is really my kingdom, being a redhead.
Really about the stonework of the city, the sunset. You know, we have a very blushy pink kind of story, and then we end with a really jolt of color.
First of all, I'm really good friends with Christian, and I am so excited about this collection. His attention to detail is always incredible, but what I really loved about today's collection is it was kind of going back to what he's great at, which is like the feathers and the beading, and you saw how luxe this collection was. It was very, very feminine and flirty, which is what he does well. But again, just how luxurious it was. It's sometimes tricky to do with a spring collection, and this was just fantastic.
Our guests today, like all my front row girls, it's such a different mix of women, and I love that because I think that's so important as a designer, that you should be able to dress different types of women and sizes and backgrounds, and that was always important since I started.